Welcome to Swiss Diamond Kitchen. This is RJ. How are you? Um, Staying with our theme of cooking things that don't take a long time, that bring a lot of flavor, and are extremely good. Today's meal, we are going to be cooking shakshuka. I probably didn't pronounce that right, so go ahead and get in the comments and tell me how I did it wrong. It is a tomato dish that is from North Africa, Middle East area. Super good, very robust. This is one of those that it doesn't take a long time, but it sure as heck tastes like it does. And honestly, if you can make the first half yesterday and then come back and do the second half today, it'll be a little bit better. But that's not what we're doing. We are doing we're doing weeknight meals, quick meals. That's kind of our theme now at Swiss Diamond. Because really, we decide we want you to love getting back in the kitchen, and most people don't love getting in the kitchen if they know that the meal they're about to make is going to take them hours. If they know that the meal they're about to make is going to take them like hours, right? Nobody wants to cook for hours unless you're cooking for fun, big family, friends. This is a Wednesday night. We got to cook something. The kids have soccer practice, right? You've got to go, and you got to hop on your Zoom call with your friends later, or whatever people do these days. I don't know, but it's busy because it's Wednesday. So let's not dilly-dally. I've got a Swiss Diamond CHD pan heating up on medium-high heat. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Don't get the cheapest olive oil you can find because it sucks. Now, spend a little money on some olive oil. If you're just using oil for frying or whatever, by all means, get cheap vegetable oil or canola oil, whatever you like. But when you're using the oil for the flavor, don't get cheap oil. You're going to taste it. All right, so we're using 2 tablespoons. Seems like a lot. It is. More. Seems like a lot. It is, but this is the only really fatty thing going into the meal. This is what's going to bring the depth into it. We are going to take an onion. I'm using my Swiss Diamond black-handled, hammer-bladed, Japanese-inspired German steel Shakshuka. We're going to cut an onion, and we are going to do a medium dice on it. Like always, guys, cut off the grow part. Keep on the root part, because that's going to give your onion something to hold together as we dice it in a nice, clean fashion. If you do full slices on this and then try to dice it, onions are going to be everywhere. They're going to be all different sizes. You're going to be crying because you're going to be crying. You're going to be sliding this thing everywhere, cross-cutting on the onion. So we don't want to do that. So we're just going to take them, go down the sides like this, use a sharp knife. Sharper the knife, cleaner the cut. The cleaner the cut, the less an onion makes you cry. Unsharp knives make you cry. For a couple reasons. One, because they cut the onion, they tear the onion instead of cutting the onion, which makes the onion put off its chemical, which makes you cry. The other reason why an unsharp knife makes you cry is because, excuse me, a not sharp knife is more likely to slip. And when it slips, where's it going? In your hand. And when it goes in your hand, you're going to cry. I'm going to cry. I'll cry for you when you're in the hospital taking care of your hand. Don't cut your hand with a knife, guys. Don't do that. And when you do, don't cut it bad enough to go to the hospital. That sounds like a miserable day. More of a joke. All right, so we're cutting our onion. We're doing a medium dice on it. This is the first thing we're going in. We're going to cut it, and always bring your cutting board to the pan, right? Because now cutting board's not going to melt in the couple of seconds it takes you to do this, and you don't have to worry about splashing because you're going over it. You don't have to worry about cutting it if you're using your knife as a scooper. You don't have to worry about moving your pan over here, especially with hot oil. You can drop it. You don't want to do that. So we're going to cook this onion down. As we're doing that, we're going to quickly chop up our pepper. Same situation. We're going to put it in there. So we want to take the seeds out and the seeds and the stems. No, I'm not Snoop Dogg. The seeds and the membrane to all of this. And on a red onion, what you do is cut it so you have this. And we're just going to cut real shallow across the top, cutting off a slight bit of the inner membrane as well with it. That's going to get any bitterness off of the knife. Oh, saved it. That's going to get any bitterness off of the pepper, by using your knife. Otherwise, we have to sweeten stuff with sugar. We don't want to do that. So just going to go real thin across here. Make sure we get the membrane out, the ribs out, and all that. Same thing, we're going to dice this. So a quick dice on a pepper is pretty easy with a sharp knife. Cut right through. You don't have to worry about it slipping on the skin of the pepper. I like to cut. This is different. People say it different ways, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I like to cut your first cut skin side out as opposed to inside out. I think that snaps better. Some people say that's going to make it slide more. I feel like going the other way makes it slide more. I don't think this is a science. I think I think cooking is an art. So do whatever makes you happy. If you don't like any of these ingredients, don't use them. It's just that easy. Or if you're looking at this, unless you can't have tomatoes or eggs, then this isn't your dish. But if you can't use peppers, if you can't have onions, just change it. Do something else. Celery would be a good substitute for the onions. For the peppers, I don't know, leave them out. Put in some carrots. Carrots would be really good. They take a little longer to cook. Put them in first. We're just going to mix those around. Boop, 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 boop. All right, as those cook a couple minutes, we're going to put in a bunch of pepper. Several grinds of pepper. We pre-ground this. We put it in our little jar. Going in. It is a peppery dish. It is delicious. I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt. Boom. Shakalaka. As we do that, we're going to take our garlic. We need 3 cloves of garlic. 1, 2, 3. Now with garlic, this recipe at the recipe card at the end is going to tell you to mince it. If you have a garlic press, fine. If you don't have a garlic press, don't worry about mincing it if you don't want to. I'm going to show you what we can do. We can just thin cut it. So we can just use real thin slices. Again, I say this a lot. Excuse me. If you're putting it in something that's going to cook, you don't need it to mince. If you are going to put it in something that is pretty raw, let's think of tzatziki or a garlic aioli. By all means, let's use a press. Let's get it as small as possible because you don't want to bite into a piece of garlic that is raw. I mean, you might, but you'll taste it for the rest of the day. But with this garlic, we can just take it, real small chops, keep it thin. If you want to cross cut it a couple of times, you can. But we don't need a full mince. I am encouraging you to peel and cut your own garlic as opposed to doing a jar situation. You get it out of the jar and it has lost a lot of its allicin, which is the chemical that gives it that bitey, that punch, that I don't know, the garlic flavor, right? The part that if it's raw makes you go, that one. We're going in with the garlic. Or does it want me to wait? No, we're gonna wait. All right, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait until this is kind of reduced. This is not a 2-hour meal, guys. I told you it's a Wednesday night. So just kind of do this, give it a little stir. If you're not comfortable doing, flipping it around, take your spoon, give it a stir. I'm going to open up our tomatoes. Maybe there we are. Just so we have them here. Boop, boop, boop. So this recipe calls for harissa paste. I can never pronounce it. The problem is it's really hard to find. So when you can't find it, if you can't find it, a harissa paste is a chili paste. It's not extremely spicy. You can get away with a couple dashes of hot sauce. I like to use sriracha 1-for-1. It is a slightly different flavor, and I do understand that. But the harissa paste is really hard to find. What we're going to do to counteract it is we're going to go a little heavy on the cumin. We're going to go a dash of cinnamon. And if I had some, we'd go a dash of chili powder, but we don't. So that's okay. So we're going to go in with this. So we're going to do a half teaspoon of cumin. Boom. Half teaspoon of paprika. Yeah. Yep. Oh, this is brand new. Boom. Half teaspoon of a pinch of cayenne. We're going to use red pepper. I don't have cayenne. It's pretty close. We're going to let that cook for about a minute. Just to let them slightly roast out, start to open up. It's not roasting. As you can see, there's a lot of liquid in there from all that oil. But it's just going to kind of let it get open, get flavorful. All right, after that happens, we're going to stir in the tomatoes and the harissa. So that's next. So after that happens, again, about 30. Oh, and the garlic needs to go in. So about 30 seconds there. So Swiss Diamond pans are really good for this kind of meal because it's fast. So you don't have to worry about things sticking. You're not going to be burning stuff on it. And if you do, if you do walk away and the onions start to caramelize a little bit, you don't have to worry about them sticking, and now you have to worry about you're using tomatoes. So a tomato dish is often it will get it gets that ring around the side. Think about pasta sauce. Last time you cooked the pasta sauce on in a stock pot or a saucepan or whatever, it gets that ring around the side. Pretty hard to clean once it gets dry. Swiss Diamond is going to make that not a problem at all. So basically, it's not going to be stick. Or it's not going to be stick. It's not going to stick, which means if you soap water right away, you're going to get it right out. This I know is brand new. I just bought this. So the reason why we're going to cover that, other than to let it kind of cook together, is tomato sauce starts to boil, and when it does, it goes everywhere. And unless you've coated your kitchen in Swiss Diamond coating, the rest of it's a pain in the butt to wash. So we're going to use 2 tablespoons of harissa or sriracha. Pretty close. Again, the flavors are really close there. We're going to let that melt together. It's going to be about 10 minutes. And if the sauce is going to thicken up a little bit, we're going to let it simmer. I'm going to bring it down just a bit. We don't need it on a full boil. It's really hot, which is good. We don't need it. As that happens, we are going to cut up our spinach. I have washed this. Spinach is very, very dirty. Grows out of the ground. It has dirt in it, literally dirt, sand, stuff like that. So give it a good wash. If you're going to cut it up like this, you can even, at this point, wash it. Put it in a salad washer. Give it a good wash. I washed it before, so it is fine. If you get the pre-packaged or don't lose an egg. If you get the pre-done stuff, that stuff's fine usually, especially when it says double pre-washed or ready to eat. That stuff's fine. You can just eat it as it is. All right, we are gonna let this simmer open. I just wanted to bring it down just a little bit. We'll be using that cover again in a minute. So these Swiss Diamond pans, guys, they're our new design. They're new and improved Swiss Diamond HD. We're calling them CHD internally, so you'll hear me say that a lot. But they are just a Swiss Diamond HD pans. We have just made some changes. We put a stainless steel handle on. Makes them far better looking for me. Also, as the world and us all together kind of decided that we don't want to have all those microplastics, we got rid of the Bakelite handle. The Bakelite handle is not unsafe. There's nothing wrong with it. But as we were making changes, we just went ahead and went with the stainless steel handle. Again, it looks a lot better. Excuse me. And we don't have to worry about any of those forever chemicals as we continue to try to do our best to be economically or ecologically responsible. There we go. The other thing we've done is we've changed our coating slightly. And what you'll find is we have a totally PFAS-free ceramic-based coating now. Now, I know you may be thinking, oh man, it's ceramic-based. You ruined it. But our ceramic-based, see, this is why I like to cover it. Our ceramic-based coating is not made from silica gel, so you don't have to worry about it over time kind of piecing down and becoming just becoming unreliable and becoming having it break down, having it just not work. I am going to cover it because I don't want to stick things. Honestly, a better pan for this, and I never even thought about it, would have been our saute pan. So Swiss Diamond CHD cover, or the HD, the new improved HD, has all the lines that we used to have, right? So we have fry pans, saute pans, stock pots, sauce pans, woks, crate pans, all kinds of stuff. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. We have cut down a couple of our SKUs. Some of the stuff nobody was buying anyway, but all the popular ones are still around. So back to the pan. The base is still made out of cast aluminum, so you don't have to worry about it warping. You still have the expert heat conduction and heat control. There's still the plasma layer, which helps protect against leaching, helps the longevity of the coating, and then the coating itself. We still carry the diamonds in there. We've just changed the chemical makeup so that now it's PFAS-free. There's no forever chemicals at all. Totally safe, 50 states wide. This is our new and improved, again, best nonstick out there. We improved the nonstick capabilities. We've been testing these, and they outperform the old. They outperform the last model, which is what we're always striving to do, right? Be better. Lifetime warranty on them, 365-day home trial, all the good stuff. So you don't have to keep messing with it. I'm just making sure it's all stirred up. I have a problem just sitting around. It's hard. We're going to be okay. So I'm just going to chop some more stuff while we're here. Excuse me. Next up, we are going to use our avocado. Avocado, guys. Avocado is the number one way to get avocado hand. You know what avocado hand? It's when you shove a knife in your hand. Don't do that. So when you cut avocados, cut them on the side like this and turn it. Or if you're not, don't feel safe, do it this way. That's okay too. Put the knife down before you twist it open. Okay. And then if you're going to use the knife to remove the core, like I do, I'm going to pretend like this the knife this way. Don't smack it in your hand, because when you miss and it goes through the skin, it goes into your hand. Hit it on the table, turn it. If it catches, turn it, and it comes out like that. Okay? So if you're going to use the knife, be careful. Use another tool to get the pit off. Again, anytime you put your hand near the blade, you run the risk of putting the blade in your hand. That's not what we want to do. So with these, same thing on the table. Just go down and make slices. Now you're gonna have pre-sliced avocado when you peel it out. We're gonna give it a second. I'm not peel them out yet. Avocados do go brown pretty quick, but not this quick. They're not gonna be brown by the time we serve. So you don't have to worry about doing this. You don't have to worry about doing this during this step. You can definitely do it. I am a big fan of using your time. It's stuff you have to do anyway. So do it now as opposed to in a little bit. Can you grab me one of these bowls so I can show everybody how to do the eggs in? That'd be awesome. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, all right. We haven't missed anything. We're going to cook this down a few more minutes. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's starting to thicken up, which is what we're going for. I'm going to just keep it stirring a little bit just to make sure it keeps going. Guys, this is a great dish. Again, if you want to start shoving more vegetables into your diet. I know we have onions in there. We have pepper in there. We're about to put spinach in there. It's a good one for carrots. Really good in here. Okra would be really good in here. It wouldn't be traditional at all, but it'd be really good in here. If you guys are eating bread, we're not eating bread. I just didn't have any. If you guys are eating bread with this meal, now's the time. Get that oven on. Put that baguette in there. Get it good, nice and crispy. Here's a trick. If you guys have an air fryer, seems like everybody has an air fryer now. You don't need to start up that oven. Cut the bread so it fits in the air fryer. Put your butter on there or whatever you're going to do. Air fry it at 390 or whatever your frying setting is on there. It's about 4 minutes. Real crispy on the outside, nice and tender on the inside. Basically like a chicken tender with bread. It is really good. I stopped using my oven almost altogether unless I'm baking cakes or I have a big platter of stuff to do. Or bacon. Bacon is still an oven food most of the time. All right. So we're going to take this. It's been about 10 minutes. We're not all the way thick. We're going to sprinkle in our spinach. Give it a nice stir here. We're going to cook this until it wilts. Maybe a couple minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes as this begins to wilt. You can't well, you probably could. You're not going to overwilt the spinach. If you have to walk away and use the restroom or something, you don't have to worry about it. I know that spinach cooks, so I don't know if you guys have ever done spinach on the stovetop trying to make like a side of just spinach and onions or something. The spinach goes from not cooked to overcooked in 30 seconds. It won't in here. We want it to wilt down. We want it to become juicy, release all of its liquid. That's what we're doing so that we can thicken the sauce back up. Because the next step is we got to put eggs in, and we need the sauce to be strong enough to cradle the eggs. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. All right, so I'm just gonna do a quick cleanup here. Just kind of get some stuff out of the way. If you guys haven't had this before, I definitely recommend you give it a try. It's really good. It's relatively quick. It's super flavorful. There's nothing that can go wrong here, really. Shove as many vegetables if you want. It does not traditionally get served with meat, but I find that like an Italian type sausage or even a smoked sausage goes really good with it. So if you're somebody who can't eat dinner without meat or whatever, I don't know. Sounds like my dad. I can't eat that. It's not meat and potatoes. Put some sausage in. It's really good. It'd probably be good with some ham too if you guys have ham. Yeah. So that's all we're gonna do. We're gonna let this kind of sizzle down. Give it a good mix. We're not quite there, but you can see how it's wilted pretty good already. You can see the edge, how the edge is thicker than the middle. That's kind of what we want the whole thing to be like, which is why I try not to. I'm overzealous. I like to stir. And really, this one you can just leave alone and get the bottom nice and thick and stir it in. But we're really close. We're there. So I'm just gonna clean a little bit. I can't stand how dirty tomato dishes are. but man, they're so good. Let's try to keep it clean because tomatoes, you get them on any of your clothes. That's where they live. That's where tomatoes live. All right, so we're gonna put eggs in next. You can just crack the eggs right in if you're confident with your egg skills. By all means, crack it, throw it right in. What happens if you crack the egg and there's a shell in there? Now somebody gets the shell. You can pretend like it's the baby in the king cake and just laugh at them when they eat it. Or you can use a bowl and crack your eggs into the bowl one at a time. That way, if you put a piece of shell in there, you can pick that piece of shell out, right? So we're just going to create little divots. Doesn't really matter. I don't know if these are going to divot. Yeah, okay, hold on. They will. I'll make them divot. I said to divot them, we're going to divot. We have a little bit more in this pan than I was thinking, but that's okay. All right. So you go. We're just going to make divots where the eggs will, basically, you want them to live and not run everywhere. You go egg in. I'm doing 5 eggs. You can make this for however many you want. This particular recipe is made for 4 people. I've got 5 people here that are eating, so I'm going 5 eggs. This would serve 6 easily if you guys, excuse me, had any meat in it, or if you guys are serving it with some crunchy bread, anything like that. This would be not a problem to do 6 meals out of this recipe. Boop. One right in the middle. And now pretend like you haven't cooked it. Just cover it, leave it alone for a couple minutes. The egg's gonna cook. Don't touch it till your egg's done. However far you like your eggs. For this, excuse me, for this I would definitely go over medium or better. You don't want to cook them all the way through. You don't want them to be tough. But also, we're not looking for a runny egg. Mostly because, look around, half of the people at the table that you're about to serve aren't going to like a runny egg, especially when you cut it and there's going to be egg everywhere, and then the yolk starts to get cooked. The yolk starts to get cooked in the harasa, or the shakshuka and everything else, and so you're not going to want that. So we're not going to offer that. So what we're going to do now is I took some Italian parsley. If you don't have flat leaf or Italian parsley, you just have curly parsley, that's fine. Take it. We're just going to cut some up. We're going to throw it on the top when we serve it. We're going to serve this in the, I'm going to serve this right in the pan. Take the pan, we're going to put it on the kitchen table. Put a little trivet underneath it and call it a day, guys. This is a good way to, no sense in dirtying up more things. Yeah, you're already going to dirty up the plates, I get it. But just this and a spoon and the plates that people are going to eat on, and that's it. Don't bring other stuff to this party if they're not needed, for sure. Yeah, so now we just kind of wait. Again, this is dirty. Boop. Kind of clean up. So we have our avocados, we have our parsley, and we have feta cheese. Those are the things that go on top. There's no particular order, but I am going to put the avocado and then the cheese and then the parsley. But you can do it whatever order you want to. I'm going to do it because that's how I like the way it looks. It has nothing to do with taste or time cooking because all these are going on basically raw, and you're going to serve it just like that. So we hang out and we chill. So Swiss Diamond has come out with a new product. Like I said, we have launched it pretty aggressively, and we're excited to get it out there. Quantities are already an issue. Our original shipment from Switzerland is dwindling. The next one isn't going to be here for a couple more weeks. So if you're interested in these and you want to get in on the ground floor, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do that. Now, these prices are introductory pricing. Once we get our next level, or our next order in, our next set of orders in, we aren't going to have the introductory pricing from all of the material companies, so we're not going to be able to pass it on to you. So as we get the next shipments in, these prices are going to raise up. I would assume 10 to 12% by the end of the summer. So if you're interested in the new Swiss Diamond HD, internally CHD, you may hear it either way. Now is the time to do it. These are 50 state legal. I know that there is some bans on PFAS chemicals in Minnesota. You don't have to worry about it with these at all. These are good. There's no forever chemicals in them. California is fine. Everywhere that has restrictions on anything, these are extremely good to eat on. They're safe. They're delicious. I don't know if they're delicious, I wouldn't eat, but they're safe. They're durable. They're the same Swiss Diamond quality that we've produced, right? These are made in Switzerland. Coating, everything in this pan is made in Switzerland. Those aren't quite done. We're getting pretty close though. I did turn it down to a simmer. At this point, you don't want it roaring boil because the tomatoes will burn. There's a lot of sugar in them, so they will burn on the bottom. Excuse me. You don't want to do that. This is supposed to be a soft, well, it's not soft at all. But it's supposed to be a rich dish, not a burnt carbonated dish. So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting on these to cook. Guys, what questions do you have about this? If you've never cooked this before, try it. I mean, we're going to be out of here in, if that clock's right, we're going to be out of here in like 20 minutes, which is pretty quick. Again, that's what we're trying to do now. I want to just make quick dishes that you guys can follow, enjoy, fall back in love with cooking. Most of them are going to be family friendly. If you haven't been around, we're making some kid friendly ones, like kids can make them. I hope to have some special guests come in soon. I'm trying to line a couple of that up. Maybe even bring some kids in. We'll have like a little cooking party, let them do something. I'm just trying to figure out how do we do that. How do we fit a bunch of kids in here? And more importantly, who's going to watch them after they're done? Because it's not going to be me. We can just give them some sugar and see what happens, I guess. We're not quite done, but we're closer than not. Cool. So what we're going to do, let's see, I'm going to poke one because I'm impatient. Oh, we're not far. Not far. Okay. Cool. So then we'll take our tasting spoon, just give it a taste. What we're tasting for here is we want to make sure that it's seasoned enough, make sure there's enough salt in it. You're going to be going with a little bit more salty stuff with your feta cheese, so there will be a salt topping on it. You're going to have some fat and creamy, you're going to have some fresh, and you're going to have some, well, I guess some more fat and creamy, right? Another thing sometimes it needs is a hint of acid, so you may need to drop a little lemon juice on the top. I don't have any here, so I hope it's good. Yeah, no, it's good. Perfect. Okay. Woo! Turn this off to warm. We're going to take our spoon and we're going to scoop out our avocado. Place our avocado on there. Take our spoon, scoop out our avocado. Oh, I missed it. Forgive me, it's the wintertime. Avocados are not super fresh here. We got them. Now your hands are dirty. All right, let me go in, take this, get it out of the way. Feta cheese. Some fresh greens. Boom, just like that, guys. That is a shakshuka. It's that's the way it's pronounced. It's shakshuka. Anyway, super good. If you're gonna serve it, go in here like this. Come in with a spoon. Grab an egg. Make sure you have an egg and all that. Boom. Just like that. You can have a bigger scoop, obviously. Put some of whatever toppings you'd like on there. But just like that, you have shakshuka. And quick, guys, that's what we're doing here. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the new Swiss Diamond HD. It is blowing the socks off of everybody that tries it. So I hope that you give it a shot. Let me know what you think about it. Comment down below. Give our customer service team a call. Just let us know. Try it. Let us know. So anyway, thanks for joining us. I will see you soon. Take it easy. Have a great afternoon.